Welcome back to the Amy NFL show. It is time for the conference championship round. We have predictions, we have questions, and we got a recap. Let's get right into it. Before we get into our conference championship picks, let's see how we did on the divisional round.
First game of the weekend was the Texans at the Ravens. It was close through the first half, 10-10, but then the Ravens pulled ahead. They shook off that rust and pulled out the easy victory, 34-10 as a final. Saturday night was Green Bay at San Fran. Packers gave San Fran a scare. Wasn't until the fourth quarter that San Fran actually took the lead, and Green Bay missed a field goal, and the 49ers came out on top. It was kind of the same story in the Lions-Bucks game. It was close again in the first half, but then the Lions pulled ahead in the third quarter and maintained it through the fourth quarter and ended up winning by 8 points over the Bucks. And the Chiefs-Bills game, back and forth for the first half, and then it tightened up in the second half. Bills had their chances, but just couldn't beat Mahomes and Kelsey. So if we look back at our picks last week, we had all of them correct except Reeve on the Bills-Chiefs game. And he came pretty close to getting that one right too.
Yeah.
But 4 for 4, pretty good. Hopefully we'll be 2 for 2 this weekend. All right, we are at the championship round, and we've brought our resident Ravens expert, Jamie Singer, to enlighten us. Ravens are still in it, playing the Chiefs this week.
Yeah.
And so we'll ask Jamie for a little insight in a bit. But let's get to our picks.
The Chiefs are never going to get blown out in a game. Mahomes is always going to keep it close, and I think it will be close in this game. But I still do think the Ravens win. The Bills receivers could not make enough plays to win the game for them, and the Dolphins QB could not make enough plays for them to win. Ravens are combined. They have good receivers and good QB talent. I think they win, even with Mark Andrews coming back. I think they win in the close one.
I agree with Aiden. I think the Ravens are going to take this one. Mark Andrews is back. That'll make a big difference on the offense. And the Chiefs haven't really faced a healthy, good defense yet in these playoffs. The Dolphins were injured at linebacker. The Bills were injured at linebacker. The Ravens are not. So I think they'll give Mahomes and that Kansas City offense some problems. I don't like betting against Andy Reid in January especially, but I'm going to for this game. I think the Ravens will take it in a close one as well.
So my prediction, I also think the Ravens are going to win. Not just because I'm a homer and I cheer for the team. I actually think this year the Ravens have the best team they've had in a long time. Actually, I think it's a better team than they've had ever, at least on offense. And I just don't think Kansas City is as strong as they have been in the past. I'm predicting the Ravens win. I think actually if they win, it could actually be more of a blowout than people think about.
Detroit Lions have never been to a Super Bowl, so if they win this would be their first Super Bowl appearance. Deebo Samuel is questionable right now. That'll make a big difference for the 49ers offense. And Detroit has lost their left guard to injury at a key time. That could play a factor against the tough San Francisco line of Chase Young and Nick Bosa. I think this is going to be a close one. I wouldn't be surprised if the Lions keep it close right till the end. But I'm taking the 49ers. The roster is too good. I think the Detroit Cinderella story ends on the road in San Francisco.
I'm also picking the 49ers in this one. As much as I don't want to pick them and would love to see the Lions in the Super Bowl, I just think that Shanahan is a genius. I think he's going to have that offense clicking. Again, I think they have relative health. Although I do think this is a close one, I see San Francisco at home pulling this one out.
There are two major weaknesses in both teams, both defenses. The Lions defense, their weakness is the secondary. They still do have C.J. Gardner-Johnson, but it's still not that good. The 49ers' weakness is the play action. The Packers did that last week, and it got them multiple big plays. When the Ravens and Niners played on Christmas, the Ravens scored on multiple play actions. So a big factor is going to be Deebo Samuel. Is he going to play? Reporters say he's 50-50. I'm going to pick the Detroit Lions to upset the 49ers.
Nice.
On the road in San Fran. Brock Purdy isn't a deep guy. He's more of a check down guy, system QB. I think he fails under pressure. I think the Lions win. I think Campbell is just as good of a head coach as Shanahan.
I think a lot of America are cheering for the Lions and the Ravens this weekend.
I think so too.
All right, bold prediction. My prediction is this is going to be Lamar's breakout game. This is where he's going to solidify his legacy. Patrick Mahomes has had a long career in a short career, but a lot of accolades that he can go with. This is Lamar's time to shine. I think he's motivated. He has the team. Finally, they've put an offense around him. I'm predicting Lamar has 5 total touchdowns in this game.
Wow, that's a lot.
That's a lot.
My bold prediction, I'm going to the Lions 49ers game. Like I said, the Lions secondary is not very good. I predict that the Niners get 2 touchdowns over 30 yards. Not 2 plays, 2 touchdowns over 30 yards.
My bold prediction, I'm going back to the Ravens game. I think Mahomes will be running for his life. So I expect Mahomes will have more rushing yards than Lamar Jackson.
Ooh.
Special guest question for this week. We don't have a lot of Ravens fans in these parts. When and how did you become a Ravens fan?
96, when the Ravens moved from Cleveland, I had actually was in high school playing football. And so the timing was perfect. So 97 is really when I started to follow them. And in the 99 year, they were a pretty exceptional defensive team. I'm more of a defensive-minded person myself, and that was sort of why I decided to follow them. Ray Lewis was my favorite player, even though I don't have his jersey on right now. But he was exactly why I followed football, and that's how I became a Ravens fan.
Makes sense. Very similar to why I'm a Steelers fan. Defense wins championships.
Yeah, I agree.
Very similar to how I'm a Bills fan. Except we can't win championships. For this week's last question, I'm going to be asking Tony. Tony, there are 4 teams that still don't have an official head coach. The Falcons, the Panthers, the Commanders, and the Seahawks. Who do you think they're going to hire?
I'm not sure on 2 of them, but my guess for the Falcons is they will go with Bill Belichick. And my guess for the Panthers is that they're going to go with Mike Vrabel.
Oh, okay.
The other ones, I'm not sure. There hasn't been a lot of rumors bouncing around. There's been interviews, but nothing solid. So those are the 2 I'm sticking with.
Any guys that you think might get a head coaching job? Like an offense coordinator, defense coordinator? Maybe like...
Ben Johnson from Detroit Lions.
Yeah, or Joe Brady?
He could. But I don't think he's been an OC long enough, at least not for the Bills.
Yeah.
So I'm going to stick with Ben Johnson. He's the one, but they're waiting until they're done their playoff run. So
yeah.
We'll see.
All right. That's it for this week's video. Thank you to Jamie for coming on and joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Stay tuned next week when we do the honors predictions.
Ooh. Subscribe.
See ya.
I'm going to actually have to say something nice about this guy. Oh, man, this is really hard for me.
Yeah.
So the referee for the Ravens-Chiefs game that they just announced is the highest rate of win percentage for away teams of any other ref in the NFL. Cool. So, and it's significant. It's 15% more wins from this coach or this ref for an away team than any other one.
That does seem pretty high.
Yeah, it does seem high. It seems a little suspect.
Yeah.